Hey y'all, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina, and it is time for that live stream show. That's right, it's Sunday night, y'all, and we are just about ready to get rolling on that live stream show. In about 10 minutes, we are gonna get started. Hopefully, you guys are ready for a great show. Got a good one lined up for you tonight, got some cool photos to talk about. Got some weather discussion to have, and we're looking forward to a great time hanging out with you all and doing this Sunday night's episode of the live stream show. These are every Sunday night right here on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook and YouTube channel. Normally we're on YouTube. Unfortunately, we are still in YouTube timeout. We've been working diligently to try to get out of timeout on YouTube, but unfortunately have not had any luck yet. But we will keep working, and hopefully we are going to get out of timeout on YouTube. A little frustrating, but we're working around it, and hopefully we'll be able to make that work soon. But our timeout will be up shortly, so looking forward to that day for sure. But all those of you watching on Facebook, we are going to get started very shortly. Just need a few minutes to get our video up and running and our giveaways working. And then we will be getting started. So almost there, y'all. Just need a few minutes to get rolling, as always. Hopefully we can get this figured out quickly. They always make it tricky to try to get the right URL to give away free trips, but every week we seem to figure it out after some trial and error. Appreciate y'all bearing with me as we get started. Don't forget to comment where you're watching from. Don't forget to like this video. Give the video a like for us. That helps us spread the word. Tag your friends. Share it on your favorite fishing group or fishing page, and we are going to get started very shortly. Just need a few more minutes and we will get rolling. Hopefully you guys have your drink ready, your questions ready. Remember, if you have a question, you got to text it to that phone number in the upper right hand corner of the screen, and that's how you get your question answered live during the show. You gotta text in your question to that phone number in the upper right hand corner. That's how you get your question answered live during the show. And we will get started very shortly. Once we get started, we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been catching, what we've been seeing. We're going to go over the weather. Then we're going to talk about what's coming up. We do have a brand new super light 10-hour all-day fishing trip right here at Hubbard's Marina tomorrow. If you want to join us, super light load, gonna be a ton of fun. And Captain Frank's running that trip. He's going after those hogfish, those lane snapper, mangroves, red grouper, maybe some kingfish. If you're local and you want to get out fishing tomorrow, we have a special last minute 10-hour all-day trip added to the schedule. It's a can't miss. We'd love to have you for that 10-hour all-day tomorrow. That is tomorrow, Monday, November 16th. We've only got a handful of people on it, and we want to get out there before this big blow. It's gonna get a little nautical there Monday night, and the weather's gonna be a little bad Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So since there's bad weather coming, we threw in a last-minute 10-hour all-day trip for tomorrow. So it is your opportunity to get out there ahead of the weather and take advantage of that good fishing ahead of that blow. So we hope that you can join us tomorrow for our special last minute 10-hour all-day fishing trip that we just added to the schedule. Definitely going to be a good time. And we hope everybody is ready for a good show. We are just about ready to get started here. Let's see. We are up and running on Facebook. We are still on timeout from YouTube, so if you want to watch us on YouTube, unfortunately, we're still in the timeout corner, but hopefully we'll get that figured out soon. If you're watching on Facebook, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Don't forget to like the video. Tag your friends. Share this video with your favorite fishing group or your favorite fishing channel. And we are going to get started very shortly. Hopefully you guys have some questions for me. If you do have questions, you do have to text in your questions to that phone number in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Phone number upper right hand corner. That's how you get your questions answered live during the show. Jim Evans, thanks for sending us some stars. Appreciate you, buddy. We are going to give away over $700 in free fishing trips tonight during the show. How you win those free fishing trips, how you're entered to win. All you have to do is watch the show and comment one time. As long as you comment one time on this Hubbard's Marina Facebook live video, you're entered for a chance to win. And then if you watch the show and your name is picked as one of those lucky winners, you have about 5 minutes to claim that free trip by texting the phone number in the upper right hand corner. So you got to comment one time and then you got to watch the whole show, and if you're picked as one of those lucky winners, you have to claim it within about 5 minutes. That is how you get a chance to win the free fishing trips during the live stream shows. We are about 3 minutes away from getting started here, guys. Hopefully everybody has their drink. Everybody's ready for another hour-long live stream show. We do these every Sunday night right here on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook and YouTube most of the time channels. Right now it's just on Facebook though, unfortunately. Jim Evans, appreciate sending stars. Heather Marie Linus, appreciate you sending some stars as well. Linus, maybe? Apologize if I mispronounce anybody's name. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me on this Sunday night. We had a great day out in the water today. We'll talk about that a little bit here shortly. Half-day trip did real well out there. And 39-hour did well. We'll show some of that as well. Definitely been good fishing behind this storm. Thank you, Christina Rollins, for sending some stars. Josiah Stevens, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for sending stars, guys. What's going on, Zully? Houston, John Rose, Jim Kendall, William Borchard. Appreciate all the supporters watching tonight. If you haven't checked out that supporters group, it's a lot of fun. Those supporters and I have been having a lot of fun in that supporters group, and you get a lot of exclusive content, a little bit more behind the scenes stuff. You can become a supporter right on the top side of our Facebook page. There's an option to become a supporter. And there's a lot of cool information in there, behind the scenes info. You get a little bit more one-on-one time. And I kind of bounce things off the supporters group. It's kind of been my sounding board lately. And Richard Blazak, appreciate you sending stars. Amy Catherine, hello over there in Melbourne. Thanks for watching. William Widener and Bowling Green, thanks for watching. Dan Netto, appreciate this 200 stars and for being a supporter. Look at all your badges you got. You got a top fan badge. You got a supporters badge. Top star sender badge. You got 3 badges, Dan Netto. Appreciate you, man. Terry Feather, what's going on? Thanks for watching. Nicholas Clemente, appreciate the stars. Terry Feather, thank you for the stars. John Burton, Palm Harbor, venting tool in hand. I've got my venting tool in hand as well. Hopefully everybody's getting pretty well vented. I need it. It's been a long week for me. Thank you, Vicky Armstrong Pool, for sending some stars. What's everybody's favorite venting tool? I think most people can guess mine, but I'm interested to hear some other ones. I did, so shout out to Craig Hammock. He brought me a bottle of Woodford Reserve this week, and honestly, I think I liked it. I think I liked it. Not more than Jameson, but I think I would buy a bottle and drink it occasionally. And my buddy Sean Porchkey, appreciate you, man, brought me a bottle of Jameson today, but also some Johnny Walker Black. So I'm branching out a little bit this week, cheating on the old Jameson. Woodford Reserve was good. Johnny Walker Black, I've liked that in the past. I don't know. We'll try it out. Let's see here. Betty Hall, thanks for watching. Josh Carlin, thanks for watching and sending some stars. Appreciate you guys. Betty, we look forward to seeing you and your sons later this week for our Thursday 10-hour all day if the weather cooperates. If not, tomorrow's a great day to go out on the 10-hour. Tuesday, Thursday, not looking so good right now, but tomorrow's going to be a good day. All right. I think it's time to get started. Thanks for watching, y'all. Appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us. We are going to get rolling here on the show. Let's see here. First things first, let's show you what we've been catching, what we've been doing out there. We're going to start inshore and work our way near shore and offshore. All right, so inshore. Thanks, John Anderson, for sending some stars. Inshore this past week has been rough. It's been a rough week with Tropical Storm Ada, but still didn't slow the diehards down from getting out there and going fishing. Thanks, Brad Wooten from Kansas, for sending some stars. So here's some nice snook action from this past week. Caught a few redfish. That freshwater influx from the storm definitely had those redfish excited. But a majority of the fish caught this past week in the passes and around the area were definitely the snook. They were hungry before the blow. Linda Vole, thanks for sending stars. Ron Sharon, Anthony Barnes, appreciate you guys. Here's some more snook that were caught this past week. The soft plastic paddle tail has definitely been king of the coop for the snook and redfish. Soft plastics are definitely becoming more and more popular. Appreciate you, Calvin Brisker. Thanks for sending some stars. Jeff Metzger. And the Woodford Reserve Double Oak. I'll have to try that one. That sounds good. The Black Barrel Jameson, though. It's hard to beat. All right, so inshore, lots of snook lately. Good redfish bite. Been seeing those trout picking up, starting to stage up for that wintertime trout bite. Some better size to them. Sheep's head are showing back up. Flounder action's picking up a little bit. Mangrove snapper are slacking off, but we're seeing those sheep's head really start to resurge in our area, so we're excited about that. Tim Harris, appreciate you sending some big stars. Justin Bendis, appreciate you too, buddy. All right, so let's work our way near shore and see what we've been catching near shore. Near shore lately, it's been all about these hogs. The hogfish bite is picking up. It's getting better and better. 5-hour half days are seeing a few here, a few there. 10-hour all days are definitely seeing some nice hogfish action. And tomorrow's special 10-hour all day, Captain Frank is really going to be hunting them hogs. I don't know why this photo came across so small, but another nice hogfish from the 5-hour half day. The lane snapper too, that's something to really be watching. We've been seeing a ton of these lane snapper. This was from a Hub half-day fishing charter. They smacked some big lane snapper, caught a few nice red grouper mixed in too. But look at the size of those lanes. Really, really good eating fish, and a lot of meat getting off those lanes too. They're thicker snapper. They have a good yield to the lane, and nice white meat. So good to see so many lanes coming in. We getting out here to the 39-hour trip catch. They had a nice big pile of mangrove snapper. The mangrove snapper bite was epic. Will called on the sap phone and said they destroyed the mangroves. Thanks Chris Black for sending some stars. Appreciate you. 39-hour also caught some nice lanes. Handful of nice red grouper. The red grouper, we've been seeing a lot of red grouper in the 18, 19, 20-inch range, and then a few of them in the 21, 22, 24-inch range. So a lot of small red grouper, but we're catching a lot of numbers of red grouper, which is good to see, because over time those barely legal and just under legal size fish will become keepers. So it's so important to make sure you have your venting tool when you're offshore to make sure you're venting those fish when you release them. Michelle Oblick, appreciate the stars. Some nice mangrove snapper action. Got a nice blackfin tuna on the drop while bottom fishing. Nice mangrove, red groupers. And then this one's pretty unique. On the 39-hour trip, they caught 3 hogfish. One was caught, and then a bunch of people who had shrimp started sending down shrimp, and they caught 2 more hogfish. So 1 male and 2 female hogs on that 39-hour trip. Pretty cool. Thanks, Barbara Austin, for sending some stars. Appreciate you. Oops. Hitting buttons. Got a nice red grouper there. Mangrove, 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 and mangrove. Nice one there. Definitely seeing some big size to the mangrove snapper. And some nice numbers of them. Fat red grouper. One of the big red groupers, I don't know if we have a photo of it, but Larry Miller caught himself a 19-pound red grouper. That was pretty cool. That's a fatty, a 19-pound red grouper. You don't see too many in the 19-pound range for sure. So definitely a good 39-hour catch. We'll show you that here real quick so you can see the full pile if you didn't catch the video this morning.
And y'all, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina. Captain Brian and the boys just got back from a 39-hour trip, and they have a huge pile of mangrove snappers, some good size to them, some nice red grouper, some gags, got a tuna. We got 3 big old hogfish in there. Nice hogs. Look at that mangrove. That's a monster, dude.
Big mangroves.
Big mangroves. Looks like a killer trip, huh, Wilbo?
Yeah, we went right out there right after that storm, and the mangroves were eaten the whole night. And just destroyed the mangroves at night. And
wow, how'd you catch them hogs? Do you remember what they were caught on?
yeah, the hogs were in one particular area, and we caught one quite possibly on shrimp. And then the other 2, we were targeting them after that, and we caught 2 more right after that on shrimp.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Some big hogs. You want to hold that one up?
Yeah, that's a fat one here. He's real heavy too. He's heavier than he looks.
That's a dense hog. That's crazy, man. How about that red grouper? That's a fatty.
Larry got him a big red grouper.
That is a fat red grouper.
He's 17 pounds.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Tuna fish.
Nice too.
So Will estimated 17 pounds. That weigh-in, it was 19. So he was a little under.
Tuna, we catch him trolling?
No, that was dropping down to the bottom tuna.
Dropping down to the bottom. Some nice gags.
The gags are moving in.
Gag bite going good. Some strawberries.
The red groupers are steady. Like, look, there's 1, 2, 3 right there on top. We got probably another 30 red groupers in there.
I saw a couple yellowtails too.
And yeah, a decent number of yellowtails and strawberries.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it. Looks like a heck of a catch. We got the live show tonight at 8:30 if you guys want to tune in. It's not even low tide, but I wanted to give you an update. A lot of people are saying, oh, Ada will help you out, drag some of that sand out. Well, you can see here, the sand has only accumulated, and this beach is getting a lot bigger for sure. Has gotten a lot bigger. Tomorrow, we have a huge low tide. Tomorrow morning at sunrise, you're gonna see some incredible photos tomorrow morning when we have that low tide and sunrise. So stay tuned tomorrow morning. We'll update you on this sand even more. We're gonna have some drones out here flying around, get a good aerial shot of how crazy this is. But we're almost into the middle of the channel at this point, and you can see how far this beach sticks out well beyond the docks. There's the boat we were just on, way over there. You gotta zoom way in to get over there. That's pretty cool. I can zoom in now on Facebook.
So I've never been able to zoom in on a live video before, and now it lets me. And I zoomed in and then couldn't figure out how to zoom out. It was pretty funny. So if you're watching that video live this morning, that's what was happening. I got stuck zoomed in, so I had to switch the camera around to try to save myself. It was pretty funny. But yeah, they did really well in the 39 hour. As you can see, a lot of nice big mangrove snapper, and plenty of them. A good amount of red grouper, some gags, some hogs, some yellowtails, some blackfin tuna action. We have a 39 hour scheduled Tuesday, but unfortunately it looks like we might have a little bit of weather to contend with. Again, that weather is starting up Monday night, and we'll look at that here real quickly. Because tomorrow, Monday, we have a special 10-hour all-day trip added to the schedule because of this weather. So if you go to hubbardsmarina.com, click Fish and Trips, scroll down here to the weather links page. That's going to give you the best idea of the weather. I like the wind finder forecasts. I like scrolling down here to the 5 and 10 hour forecast, and that's going to give you a good visual graph of what the wind's doing and what to expect. You can see here, starting Tuesday, the wind picks up. Wednesday, it's steady. Thursday, steady. It starts calming down into the weekend. So today is Sunday, 2 foot, dying down to 1 foot. Tomorrow's around 1 foot, coming up to as much as 3 foot by the end of the day. But then Tuesday looks ugly, almost 4 foot, solid 25 mile an hour. Wednesday's over 4 foot, almost 30 mile an hour. Thursday's 4.5 foot, dying down to about 4 foot, solid 30 mile an hour. So we know it looks like this front's going to come through around Wednesday late afternoon, Monday late afternoon, Monday night, and we know behind the front we have a high pressure settling in, so it's going to be blowing for a few days. So because of that, that's why we scheduled a special 10-hour all-day trip tomorrow, Monday, November 16th. So if you are available tomorrow, that 10-hour trip with Captain Frank is going to be a great option. There's only about 17 people signed up for that trip right now, so it's going to be a super light load. Captain Frank's excited to get out there one more time before that weather goes bad again. So a great opportunity to capitalize on the good fishing ahead of that bad weather tomorrow, Monday, November 16th. So hopefully you can join us. And then back to our weather links page, down at the bottom is our ultimate storm forecast. Our buddy Mike over at spaghettimodels.com. He actually hung out with us during Ada. So that was pretty cool getting to hang out with Mike. It was like meet one of my heroes. I've been following Mike's page for years, so it was pretty cool to get the chance to meet him. And you can see here that front comes by tomorrow, and then what's this? I think this is supposed to be, this is Tuesday. So Tuesday the front goes by, get another kind of a backup front, and then you can see the high pressure settling in behind it. It's going to definitely be very, very high pressure. This is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then it finally starts even backing off us a little bit over the weekend. So definitely a lot of blustery conditions ahead this week, starting Monday night. So if you are available again, tomorrow is a great opportunity to check out that 10-hour all day. So also I wanted to show you real quick, this is pretty cool. If you go to youtube.com, and then once you're on YouTube, hit that search bar on the top, type in Hubbard's Marina. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. It's right up here.
Hubbard's Marina inside Johns Pass Village on Madeira Beach.
Video. If you go to our videos, you can see the crazy weather from Ada. So our buddy Bob put this together. This is a pretty cool video. So Captain Brian is doing more video, which is awesome to see Captain Brian learning the ropes of the GoPro. Not only is he a master fishing boat captain, but now he's mastering doing those videos. So this is pretty cool. And Brian had a GoPro on the Florida almost all night long while he was on the boat. So this is the video Bob Harbison put together from Brian's GoPro video. Pretty cool. We're not going to show the whole thing because it's awfully long, but basically starts out with preparing for Ada, which is us putting our hurricane doors on and then moving all the beach cabanas. And then after we got done preparing, spending 6-7 hours working real hard, we started drinking a lot of beer. And then we went home and came back and set up for storm watch. So this is a quick before video of all the stuff we moved in the office, and then this is later that night as the storm started to roll in around 6 o'clock. This is probably 5 o'clock. Storm's rolling in. Brian's still walking around. All right, this is getting closer to sundown. Water's already starting to come up over the seawalls. Still, sun is up. And this is later that night, getting closer to, I don't know what time this is, but this is pretty funny. I'm going to play this part. Oops.
Probably blowing. What's it blowing, D? How much? What is it, 40?
I would say gusts in the 60s, sustained 40.
There you go.
The whole front end of the dock. If it comes up on
Find a piece of chain. We're tied to the pylon. I don't care what that dock does. If those pylons stay put, we're staying here.
This dock might not be here long.
I don't care. We already lifted a board on the end.
Yeah, there's a bunch of boards in here. Really. The parking lot, the waiting area is completely flooded. There's probably 10 inches of water out in front of the office.
Nice. See, everybody thinks this job's easy. Yeah, this is the get down.
Hi, I'm Dr. Amy Killen.
I don't know why there's ads in the middle of this, but what we're discussing there is the weather and the tide coming up, because we were considering perhaps having to
fire the
move
motors up
off the dock.
Probably let them.
So the big question of the night was Captain Joe on the Friendly, Captain Brian on the Florida, me out front with Mike from Mike's weather page. We're watching the weather, watching the bands come in, watching the radar, watching the surge. The guys are watching the boats, and we're all connected and talking about what we're going to do with the boats, because if the water comes up too high, if the surge came in too much, if the waves got too big, we would have to hop on the boats and pull them off the dock and go hide in the intercoastal. So that was the big discussion of the night. I kept trying to come down the dock and talk to Captain Brian, Captain Joe, and then at one point the dock became so severely unsafe that we ended up using the boardwalk. And so the Friendly was up so high, I was standing on the boardwalk looking at Joe face to face because the water was so high. The Friendly fisherman, the big party boat, that docks next to the boardwalk was literally up so high that it was in line with the boardwalk. It was just absolutely epic night. And let me see how much Brian has in here. He starts the boat, he walks around, looks at the engines, and then yeah, here we go. Here's some other good footage of the water even higher. Show you this real quick, and then we'll give away a free trip.
Right there.
Look at that. Crazy.
Fuel pump door swinging. Water up all over the dock here. That might not be there tomorrow. That don't sound good over there. They're getting beat up pretty good. They don't have any pilots on the outside. Come on, maybe we got to get the gap and rip that apart and get it out of there so it can float away. Yeah, if we can. It's probably one nail holding it or something, you know. It's just the sooner we get it off the pump, I'm thinking, the better. Storm's due west of us right now. I don't know. Not blowing too hard at the moment. Well, at least the rain quit here for a little bit anyway.
I'm not going to bore you with too much of this. This is on our YouTube channel if you want to catch it. But the whole video is about 11, 12 minutes long. Pretty cool. And now this week we got to spend the rest of the week rebuilding the dock up, putting the beach cabanas back, and cleaning up. It's been a lot of cleanup and a lot of fixing what was damaged in the storm. So definitely check it out. We also have some videos on our Facebook channel or Facebook page too. Unfortunately, my phone kind of took a dump on me mid-storm, but it was absolutely insane. That night was incredible, something I'll never forget. So if you've seen my truck before, it's a big lifted F-250. I've got big tires on it and everything. When I left, I didn't leave until the storm had passed and the water started to recede. The water receded about 6 inches, and I wanted to get home to my infant son and wife who weathered the storm by themselves at our house. So I was trying to get home. Water receded a little bit. I tried to leave. The entrance to Johns Pass was so flooded. It was like a huge river, and I was worried about going through it in my truck because I thought my truck wasn't going to make it. I hopped out of my truck and waded out there to see how deep it was. It came up to my waist. It came up to my waist. I'm 6'7". I'm a tall guy, and that water was so incredibly high. And this was just a tropical storm. And everybody was saying before the storm, it's only a tropical storm. What are you guys so worried about? What are you preparing so much for? Literally, someone was making fun of us on the beach while we were moving our equipment off the beach. And we are so blessed that we did as much preparation as we did, because if we wouldn't have been as prepared as we were, we would have had 3-4 feet of water in our office. All our computers would have been ruined. We would be talking $100,000 in damage, if not more. And we got really, really blessed being well prepared for that storm. So good thing we did our storm prep, and we were paying attention to Mike's weather page. Can't say enough good things about Mike's weather page, and being able to meet him and hang out with him was awesome. If you don't follow Mike's weather page, you should. Pretty cool. All right, with that, it is time to give away our first free trip of the night. We're going to give away a 5-hour half day for 2 guests. That is a $130 value, absolutely free. Remember, if you're picked as that lucky winner, you have to text that phone number in the upper right-hand corner within about 5 minutes to claim that free trip. So let's see who won our 5-hour half day for 2 guests tonight during the live show. Karen Smedbron from Wisconsin. Karen Smedbron from Wisconsin. And you are the lucky winner, Karen. Appreciate you watching. Remember, you have about 5 minutes or so to text that phone number in the upper right hand corner and claim that free trip by sending your home address. Karen, that's how you claim your free trip. And with that, it's time to get into some of your questions. We talked about what we've been catching. We talked about the weather a little bit. We're going to get into your questions. Don't forget, if you have a question, you got to text that phone number, your question, in the upper right-hand corner. That's how you get your question answered live during the show. So we've got that new 10-hour special 10-hour trip scheduled tomorrow. Hopefully a lot of you guys can join us. Again, only about 17 people booked on the Friendly Fisherman. That boat's licensed for 110. There's 78 rod holders. There's only 17 people going tomorrow. So tons of room to flatline, to vertical jig, to do whatever you want. Target those hogfish. Captain Frank's excited. So Captain Frank, Smokey, and I believe Seabass are the two crew members. Seabass, Smokey, and Captain Frank at the wheel. So great crew, great captain, great trip. Tomorrow, 10-hour all day. And with that, let's see what our first question of the night is. When you guys go out on a 39-hour trip and come back with all those fish, what do you do with them? So common question. What we do with them is we give them to the people who caught them. So if you go out on a fishing trip with us, when you catch your first keeper fish, you and your group are assigned a stringer number, and that stringer number is where all your fish are kept in our fish box on that line or stringer. At the end of the trip, you tell us your number and we hand you all your fish. On those 39-hour trips, we have 3 or 4 fish boxes, and we bury the fish in ice, and we layer the fish throughout the trip periodically. We have to count fish and layer them and pack fish. So when we pack fish, we pull the stringer out, we tie it off, make sure it's tagged with your number. We bury it in ice. At the end of the 39 or 44-hour trip, we remove the ice, pull all the fish up, pile them up. We take a few videos real quick, let everybody take a few photos real quick, and then we start calling stringer numbers. When we call your number, you holler back, we hand you your fish. At that point, it's your fish, and you can do with them as you wish. You can't sell them. Any fish that's caught on our boat cannot be legally sold. But you can give them away to your friends. You can eat them yourself, whatever you want. And our friends down the boardwalk at Wild Seafood and Don's Dock, they do offer to pack and ship and freeze your fish. So Don's Dock now offers packing and shipping, and they have dry ice shipping. So you could literally come out on a trip with us, catch a bunch of fish, walk down the boardwalk to Don's Dock, have it vacuum sealed and packed and shipped to your doorstep. So they make it real easy down at Don's Dock. Does the new engine room bunk have the back seat raised to get more room? Not quite sure what that question means, but we do have a new bunk on our 39 and 44-hour trip seat layouts. It's the ER25 bunk. It's on the back left-hand side or port side of the inside bottom cabin, and that's the bunk right above the port engine room hatch. You're right against the back wall of the cabin. It's the furthest stern bunk you can get inside the main cabin, and it's the same size as other bunks downstairs. It's just kind of all by its lonesome over there by the engine room hatch. So nothing super special about it other than it's very far back and it's kind of isolated by itself. Been having any luck with triple tail on your 5 or 10-hour trips? We're starting to see the triple tail come out, and we might have a trip or two where we stop on a pot and try to catch a triple tail. Tomorrow would be one of those trips where we definitely have more opportunities to do that, because tomorrow's 10-hour trip, we only have 17 people on the boat, so we got a lot of flexibility, a lot of room, a lot of time. So tomorrow's a good chance if you want to come out and try it. What pound test do you have your Saltiga rigged with? So my Saltiga LD50 2-speed, I like using around 50 to 60 pound braided line in my reel. If you're not doing 39-hour trips or deep water beyond 200 foot, you really don't need braid. Just mono will work fine. If you're fishing super deep water a lot, then braided line is a good option as long as you're using a top shot. But around 60-pound test, 60-pound test is a good idea for the Saltiga. It's got 40 pounds of drag. It can handle a big grouper. I'll put as much as an 80-pound leader on it. I'll put as little as a 20-pound leader on it. But nothing real crazy on the Saltiga. Is live hand-picked shrimp or select shrimp worth it for hogfish? Is there any other bait that you suggest for hogfish? And what type or size hook? So when you're offshore fishing for bottom reef species with natural bait, you have to use a circle hook. That's the rule. Live shrimp is a great bait for hogfish, but fiddler crabs also work. Sand fleas work. Rock shrimp is a good option. There's a lot of other baits that work, but live shrimp or fresh dead live shrimp, as long as they're fresh, they also work well too. About a 3 to 4/0 hook is recommended. About 30-pound fluorocarbon is what I'd use for those hogfish. So 20, 30-pound fluorocarbon and about a 3 to 4/0 hook. And live shrimp. But I wouldn't really, I mean, the hand-picked shrimp, you don't necessarily need that. I find a lot of times the hogfish will end up biting the medium-sized, even a little bit smaller shrimp. You don't need a real big shrimp. If you get a real big shrimp, a lot of times you're going to end up catching a mangrove snapper or a undersized red grouper or perhaps a gag grouper this time of year. The big shrimp attract a lot of other more aggressive predators, where kind of the medium-sized, big enough to fit on your hook shrimp will be kind of just fine to try to catch one of those hogfish. You don't need a big monster shrimp to catch a hogfish. Can you explain some of the wintertime fishing techniques? So wintertime fishing would be more geared towards those gag grouper or hogfish. We see some of those kingfish and mackerel in the early part of our winter in Florida. Basically, wintertime technique, the biggest wintertime technique I would say, is making sure you're timing your trip around these storms. For example, tomorrow we have a nice little weather window before that cold front, and tomorrow should be awesome fishing. So that's why we've timed our trips around that front, and we added a new 10-hour trip tomorrow. It's got a super light load, and we called all the people that are booked for Tuesday and Thursday's 10-hour, and we said, hey guys, that's probably not going to be the best weather. If you want, you can go with us tomorrow, Monday, on this new 10-hour. And that's the best wintertime fishing technique, is timing your trips around the front. Because tomorrow we're going to have good fishing ahead of that front. Tuesday, once the front comes through, the weather picks up, it's bumpy, the water gets stirred up, the temperature drops, the barometer drops, the fishing is not as good. So that's why it's real important in the wintertime to watch these storms, watch this weather, and time your trip around the front. Right before the front goes through and a few days after the front leaves, once the water calms down and clears up, that is when fishing is at its best in the wintertime. Not a question, just a shout out to Mikey and John. Those guys put in some work on the all-day trip today. Good trip, perfect weather. Good to hear. Thanks, Fritz. Appreciate you. Have you considered having a customer as your special guest on your live show? And yes, I have considered that. Actually, I can't take credit for that. Estelle, I think it was Estelle Wolfman. It was one of the ladies brought up an idea of having lady anglers as a guest on the show to talk about doing a 39-hour trip from the perspective of a woman. And I was talking to Jennifer Roberts and Estelle and Christina Fernandez and Bonnie, some of those ladies, about perhaps joining the show with me. So honestly, I just need to do a better job at coordinating that and we can get that done, because that's a good idea. I would love to have a guest, a fishing friend or client on the show with me. It's a good idea for sure, and I've thought about it. I didn't have the idea myself to start out with, but I like the idea, and should try it. And yes, I know the background's moving. I forgot to turn off the fan behind me, and I'm not getting up to turn it off now. Normally I turn it off before the show, but I came in here very last minute, so I forgot to turn off the fan. That's why the background's moving. Sorry. What bait or technique seemed to work? Our dock camera's broken and having trouble pulling up the webcams. Someone else said they had trouble pulling up the webcams after the storm, but we tested the webcams and they were working. Someone else is saying they can't pull up the webcams now. The security cameras got some epic storm footage. I was going to try to pull that up during the show, but if I pull up the 4K footage and try to render it down, I'm pretty sure, crash my computer with all the programs I have open running the show. Huh. I can't pull up I can't pull up the webcams. Now when I heard that they weren't working and we pulled them up and they were working fine, maybe it's having trouble accessing it from outside our domain. I don't know, but appreciate you bringing it to our attention. We'll look into the webcam issue and get that fixed. I'm gonna send myself an email right now before I forget, because tomorrow morning I've got a million things going on and I will forget. Webcams down. Let's try to fix that. Alright. Sent myself an email. Won't forget now. Next question. What pound test leaders are working best right now? So, again, for those hogfish, those lighter leaders are great options. Somewhere around 20-30 pound fluorocarbon. Gag grouper right now, every bit of 80 pound test leader if you're deeper, 60 pound test leader if you're closer. Around 40 pound test is a good all around leader on the 10 hour trip. The leader size really kind of is dictated by what you're targeting. On our 39-hour trip, around 40 to 50 pound for most of the snapper fishing. Typically around 50 pound is better when gag grouper are open, but 40 pound is a good option to start as well. What is the legal size and limit of sheep's head? I believe it's 12 inches and 5 per person now, because they recently changed it. But all I do is pull out my handy dandy Fish Rules app, and on the Fish Rules app, it takes just a second to open it up. You're allowed 8 per person. Is that real? 8 per person. That was wrong. 8 per person, 12-inch minimum size. So that is the regulations on sheep's head. 8 per person, 12-inch minimum size. And the cool part about this app is you can toggle it based on your location. So you can see right there in the upper corner where it says see federal regs. So all you have to do is hit that button and you can see the federal regs. And now it says see local, and you can toggle that button to go between federal and local regulations. Obviously for sheep's head, not going to really matter, but for things like red snapper, grouper, it's going to change considerably from sheep's head from local to federal. So definitely download the Fish Rules app, and that's right on our website. If you go to hubbardsmarina.com, go to Fishing Trips, and under more info, I think is the fishing rules and regulations. No, it's right there. Fishing rules and regulations. And once you're here, you can download the Fish Rules app. There's a app download button right from our website under Fishing Trips, Fishing Rules and Regulations. Fish Rules app is where it's at. The Federal Gulf of Mexico Fishery Management Council actually has a contract with Fish Rules app, and they actually log in and update that. They update that themselves. So definitely the most up-to-date information. Why are the mouths of hogfish wide open in pictures when every other fish's mouth is closed? It kind of depends on what's going on, and hogfish have a very, very big mouth with a very wide jaw. So generally, once you unhook the fish, they kind of come ajar and they stay ajar. Whereas other fish like mangrove snapper, they like to snap their jaws shut when you're trying to unhook them to try to get you with their fangs. Whereas grouper, their mouths are almost always open. They very rarely slam their mouth shut while you're taking photos. So it kind of depends on the species. I wouldn't say all fish or all fish other than hogfish have their mouths closed, because grouper almost always have their mouths open when you're taking photos. So it kind of depends on the species, in my opinion. Where can I find the whole video for the life of rigging mistakes? Where can I find the whole video for the life of the rigging mistakes? Not sure what that question is, but all the videos that we recommend are fishing tips and tricks are right on our website. If you go to hubbardsmarina.com, go to fishing trips, scroll down to fishing video links. There's the fishing tips and tricks page. The fishing tips and tricks page has a ton of nearshore and offshore tips. And then if you scroll down, there's rigging tips. And then if you scroll down, there's general tips, like weather tips, braided lines, spinning versus conventional. We even have some inshore fishing tips at the bottom. And my favorite, how to cook your catch. This was my favorite. And how to properly vent. I know how to properly vent for sure. Let's see what other question. Before we get to the next question, I think it's time to give away another trip. We're going to give away a 10-hour all-day trip for two 10-hour all-day trip for two guests. That is a $218 value, absolutely free. Let's see who the lucky winner is on a 10-hour all-day trip. Son of a sailor. Almost put my notes up on the wrong screen. What in the world is happening? Jordan Brown. Oh, man, everything went away on me there. Jordan Brown, win, go away. I agree. Couldn't agree more, Jordan. Jordan Brown won the 10-hour all-day trip for two guests. Sorry for the computer freak out there, y'all. Jordan Brown, you got about 5 minutes to text that phone number in the upper right-hand corner to claim that free trip. Yes, we are still on timeout in YouTube, y'all, so you cannot watch on YouTube. But Facebook is working alive and well. So, yes, no YouTube right now, unfortunately. We're still trying to figure that one out. Sorry about that. But congratulations, Jordan Brown, for winning a 10-hour all-day trip for two guests. All right, let's see. Who's next? Next question is your thoughts on everybody using the Rodan or Minn Kota trolling motors offshore versus anchoring. I mean, it's if you can afford it, if you want to go that route, it works well. It basically eliminates any need for anchoring, which eliminates a lot of the challenge with positioning the boat over the fish. You don't have to pull any more anchors, which is nice. But you do occasionally run into issues. You still need to have an anchor on the boat, especially in case of emergency, if you lose power, etc. It also runs into a lot of issues in the fact that that is using your battery power. So you need to add a lot of batteries to the boat. Make sure you have a battery isolated that's not being drained by your trolling motor. So at the end of your fishing trip, you go to start the engines and you don't have any battery juice left and you're stranded offshore. I've heard that happen to a few people. So the rode-in trolling motor thing, the Minn Kota trolling motor spot lock deal is becoming more and more popular offshore. If you can afford it, if you want to enjoy the toy, go for it. In my opinion, it's a lot like cheating, but hey, it works. And they don't make them big enough for our boats yet, so we don't use them. Still, anchoring up on the spots is my preferred method, just because they don't make one big enough for our boats. I think if they did, we'd probably be using them. It's pretty easy. It makes life easy for sure. But they are pricey. They run every bit of probably close to $6,000 to $9,000 if you're getting them wired and professionally installed and making sure you have enough and the correct battery applications. You want to definitely use some nice batteries for that. Is Captain Frank running the 10-hour all-day Tuesday? Yes, Captain Frank runs 10-hour all-days Tuesday and Thursday, but most likely the 10-hour all-day Tuesday and Thursday are probably going to have to be canceled because of weather. But we do have a special 10-hour all-day trip tomorrow with a super light load if you want to join us. And Captain Frank is running that trip too, so I would recommend tomorrow's 10-hour trip over Tuesday for sure. At what depth do you typically have to worry about venting your fish? So typically it has a lot to do with your water temperature, your saturated oxygen content, and the type of species of the fish that you caught, and also how fast you're getting that fish from the bottom to the surface. The faster you reel it up, the more likely it is to survive. The less time that it takes that fish from where it lives to the surface and back, the more likely that fish is going to be to have some serious impacts. So the quicker you get it up, the quicker you get it unhooked, the quicker you get it back in the water, the less likely that fish is going to have an issue. So also, as far as temperature of the water goes, colder water holds more saturated oxygen. Warmer water allows more oxygen to escape and is less oxygen rich. So in warmer waters, you have to vent or descend your fish in even shallower conditions. So typically in the warm summer months, as shallow as 70, 80, 90 foot of water, you have to vent your fish. In the cooler winter months, when it's a little chillier out there and the water temperature is in the low 80s, high 70s, you might be able to be fishing as deep as 90, 100, 110 foot of water before you have to start venting or descending your fish. So it really depends on the depth of water, temperature of the water, and then also the species. For example, like hogfish. If you have to release a hogfish, they are super susceptible to having barotrauma issues and floating away and dying. So you got to definitely make sure if you got a hogfish you have to return to the bottom, you got to make sure you get it up off the bottom quickly, dehooked quickly, and back in the water quickly so it has a good chance of surviving. We have had quite a few negative comments and even bad reviews over people upset that they caught a small hogfish and we unhooked it quickly and got it back in the water quickly. The reason we do that is those small hogfish that have to be released, they really often die if you take a lot of time fumbling around, taking photos up out of the water. So we really try to get those small hogfish back in the water quickly because they have some crushing teeth in the back of their throat, and those hogfish, when they get bad barotrauma, a lot of their insides will get torn up on those crushing teeth. So we really try to get those back in the water as quick as possible. Is Daiwa Saltiga 50 with 30-pound test good for trolling? Not on our trips, not on the party boats, because we're going a little too fast, and that's a smaller reel for sure with not a lot of drag power. The Daiwa Saltiga 50 does work for trolling on a 5-hour, but it is a little small for sure. I would still want to use a bigger reel. We control on our 5-hour half days, 39-hour and 44-hour trips. On the 39 or 44, you need at least a 50 wide 2-speed. Really, more like an 80 wide 2-speed is best. On a half day, you can get away with trolling with some other lighter tackle, but at least a 9-aught reel is a good idea. It makes it easy to retrieve that fish while the boat's moving. What kind of fish was the spotted fish on top of the pile? That's what we call a strawberry grouper, also known as a rock hind. That was a rock hind or strawberry grouper on top of the pile, all spotted. Good evening. Curious, do you keep track of how many fish have been caught since Hubbard's Marina has been in business? No, we have not kept track of how many fish we've caught since Hubbard's Marina has been in business. That would be interesting, and honestly, I don't think I'd want to know that number. that would be a very large number. That would probably keep me up at night. Keeping track of how many fish we've killed since we've opened in 1928. How are you sexing the hogs? How are you telling, what I guess that question means, and I hope it means, is how do you tell the sex of the hogfish? So there's a very distinct difference between a male and female hogfish, and they're very visibly different. Let's see if we can pull up some good example photos. Best place would probably be looking at old 5-hour half-day trip photos. Most of the photos that we take are going to be of male hogfish. So let me scroll through here and see if I can find a female hog. Oh, good photo. Bam. Easier said than done. So, we've got 2 male hogs and a female hog in this photo. Real easy to spot. Female hog has, actually it's not that well defined in this photo because Matt's holding the lower jaw, but the female hog has a much lighter colored top piece, and they have very lighter colored eyes and also a smaller snout. So this is a female hog. You can see the female hogfish has a much smaller snout to it, lighter colored top piece. So that's a female, whereas this is a male. Big old mouth on that guy, big old head, big old round top, a lot darker bar. You can see how big the mouth is. Smokey's putting a beer in it. And let's see if we got another good example of female hogfish. These are just 5-hour half-day photos from the past year or so. I don't see another good female hogfish photo. Like I said, typically female hogfish are a little smaller, and we typically don't take a lot of pictures of the female hogs because they run a little smaller and they're a little less impressive looking. Is that a female? Yep. So male, female. And ironically, the female's holding the female and the male's holding the male. So that's how we tell the difference between hogfish. Basically, the females have a much smaller snout to them, whereas the males have a much bigger, more pronounced snout and a little bit more of a hump on the head. So that's how we tell the difference between the two. And hogfish live in harems. So there's one male hogfish to about 5 to 7 female hogfish. So if you catch a small female, there's typically a bigger male in that area. And a lot of times those harems are closely related. So you'll have 1 or 2, 3 harems in an area. So where you catch one hogfish, there's more hogfish in that area, and you found a good area to work for those hogfish for sure. And the sexing hogfish comment apparently started a lot of good comment trends in our chat. So thank you for that. How's the schedule looking for the week of Thanksgiving? So we're typically pretty slow up until Thanksgiving. after Thanksgiving, we're pretty busy that weekend following Thanksgiving for sure. So not so busy before Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving, it gets a little busier. And then after maybe a week or so following Thanksgiving, it slows back down to normal until right before Christmas. It starts picking up a little bit. And then it's really crazy the week between Christmas and New Year's. Then after New Year's, it dies down until around Valentine's Day, typically. Hey, from Pittsburgh, my daughter and I are coming back down in December to fish with you. Jason already got us booked up. Want to do the 10-hour, but my question for you is with all that sand, has it affected fishing from the jetty? When I was down there in March, I was catching a good bit of fish on the corner of the jetty next to the beach. Definitely the sand is affecting the fish. It's affecting a lot of things inside Johns Pass, from drainage to safety to dolphins and manatees. The sand issue is causing a lot of problems. People are still catching a lot of fish in Johns Pass, but it definitely has affected it, moved those fish around. But when you come down here, we'll let you know what's going on when you get down here. That sand changes a lot from day to day, from week to week, depending on the weather. One more storm like Ada can totally change it over again. So hard to say what it will be like in December, but when you get down here, we'll give you the ins and outs. Thanks, John Anderson, for sending some stars. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. All right. Next question. Is the show back live on YouTube yet? Can't seem to get it on Facebook. So, yes, it's live on Facebook, not live on YouTube, unfortunately. YouTube still has us in timeout. Hoping to get back on YouTube very shortly. We've been working hard at trying to get that going. We even offered the person who gave us a copyright strike money, offered him a free fishing trips, money, just simply showing photos on frickin' Facebook search. Didn't know it was against the rules. But hey, you learn something new every day, and I'm in timeout. So I apologized, offered to give him money, offered to compensate him, offered to give him free fishing trips. Haven't even had an answer back. So apparently he just wants me to sit in timeout for 90 days and sweat it out. And that's what we're doing right now. But we're going to keep reaching out and see if we can't get out of YouTube jail. Anthony Barnes, Vicky Poole, appreciate the stars. Thank you so much, guys. All right, what do we see? I would love to catch a keeper amberjack. So amberjack, we typically target those in our 12-hour extreme, 39-hour, or 44-hour trips. And they are open typically August, September, and October, and then the month of May. So May, August, September, and October is when amberjack are open. And you got to go deep. You got to go real deep for those amberjack. 12-hour extreme, 39-hour, 44-hour trips. Wait a minute. All right. This just changed the game. Someone just sent me a photo of a Jameson Christmas tree. So I've seen the Jameson Christmas tree going around on social media. I thought some crazy person like me built a Jameson Christmas tree. But it turns out there's a Jameson Christmas tree giveaway, and someone just entered me into the giveaway. If I win a Christmas tree made up of Jameson bottles, that would be the best Christmas ever. That would be awesome. So thank you, Chris Bacon, for entering me into the Christmas or Jameson Christmas tree giveaway. You're the man. If I win, I'm not sharing any bottles with you, but I will thank you profusely. How far out does a 10-hour trip go? 10-hour trip fishes around 15 to 25 miles from Johns Pass in about 60 to 100 foot of water. And we fish for about 6 to 7 hours. We target those hogfish, mangrove snapper, red grouper, lane snapper. We're seeing a lot of those gray snapper or white grunts, porgies, sea bass, that kind of thing. definitely a good time out there on the 10-hour all day. What type of equipment is available for rent on the 39-hour trip? Our rentals on the 39-hour trip, we provide a Bass Pro Shops offshore angler Seafire 6/0 reel with a Bass Pro Shops offshore angler Sea Lion rod. We spool it up with around 60 to 80 pound test depending on the time of year, and the leader we change out 60 to 80 pounds, and then also have 40 pound and then different size hooks for the fish that we're targeting. Someone talking about the Jameson Christmas tree again and how I should win. I should win the Jameson Christmas tree. I think I've earned it. You know what's really upsetting is my wife's friend was dating this guy, and he plays video games on Twitch and other online streaming platforms, and he's sponsored by Jameson. I found that out the other day. That was very defeating, that I should be playing video games professionally and I could get sponsored by Jameson. I'm over here fishing, I'm doing videos unprofessionally, drinking Jameson, not getting sponsored by him. Very, very upsetting, but it is what it is. Jealousy comes in all types and forms, so I'm happy for him, but I'm still a little jealous. Scheduled Tuesday, but need advanced planning if needed to reschedule. How are the 10-hour trips for Sunday, next Tuesday, etc.? Well, we called you today. That's why we were letting you know that tomorrow, Monday, is a better 10-hour trip than Tuesday. That's why we called. We literally texted everybody who was scheduled Tuesday and Thursday and called everybody scheduled Tuesday and Thursday to let them know, hey guys, weather doesn't look so good. If you're available tomorrow, Monday, weather looks a lot better. We should get you out there fishing. So I don't know how much more advance notice or advanced planning we could give. But yeah, it doesn't look good. Tuesday means most likely we're going to have to cancel unless the weather changes. So hopefully we can get you scheduled for tomorrow's 10-hour trip. That's going to be your best bet. Because next week, Tuesday, who knows? Weather might be different. That weather is way in advance. You can't really trust the weather forecast more than 3 to 5 days out, especially this time of year. So I always tell people, if you know the weather's going to be good and you can get an opportunity to get out in the water, take advantage of it. So tomorrow we know the weather's going to be good, and the fishing should be good right in front of the front. So tomorrow should be a great opportunity on our 5-hour half day and 10-hour all day. How's it looking for the 39-hour trip Friday? So Friday, still a little breezy from that high pressure settling in behind that front coming through tomorrow night, but not breezy enough to blow us out of our plans. So Tuesday's 39-hour trip doesn't look so good. It's going to blow pretty hard, and definitely a chance we might have to cancel. Whereas tomorrow or Friday's 39-hour trip, that high pressure backs off a little bit, and it looks like we should be able to get out there Friday on the 39-hour, but gonna be a little bumpy for sure. My son and I are planning to fly down from Pennsylvania to go out Friday on a 5-hour half day. Should we reschedule given weather? Friday definitely still looks a little bumpy. It starts calming down over the weekend. If you're flying down, I would suggest doing a little longer trip than a 5-hour. 5-hour half day is a very short trip to fly down for. Hopefully you're flying down for other reasons and you just want to get out fishing while you're here. But yeah, Friday weather is looking still a little bit bumpy. So for a 5-hour half day, we're going to go to the website. We're going to click fishing trips. We're going to scroll down to weather links. We're going to stay on the wind finder forecast. We're going to go over to the 5 and 10 hour forecast. And we're going to scroll down to Friday. So still a little bumpy Friday, 3.5, 3 foot. So it looks doable. We'll probably be able to get out there on a half day trip, but Still pretty chilly, still pretty windy, and since it's going to be blowing pretty hard Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, most likely Friday, if we're able to get out there, fishing will most likely be pretty slow because it's been blowing for 3 days and that temperature has changed a lot. So if you can reschedule, I would suggest reschedule until later in the weekend when weather will stabilize and that fishing should start getting better. Holy moly, we are completely out of time. We are over time. Running out of time. So with that, I see a question I want to get to. Nope. Just Damien messing with me. How do you remember all the names? I don't know how I remember a lot of stuff. I can't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning, but I can remember stupid things. I'm not that good with names. I'm more good with faces, but someone like you, Damien, who fishes with us 10, 15 times a year, I won't forget your name, especially how funny you are. Let's see here. I think we are gonna wrap this sucker up, but before we do, let's make sure I got to all my announcements. And we still got to give away a 39-hour fishing trip for one person. Don't forget about the subscribers group. That subscribers group is up and running. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's pretty cool. You get exclusive content. You get supporter-only live videos that only supporters can watch. You get the private supporters group where other supporters can link up with you. You can talk fishing. Lots of posts there from me and from everybody else in the supporters group. You get the supporters badge, so definitely pretty cool. Check that out. Also, don't forget we brought White Claw onto our fishing boats. So after many requests, most of them from the same person, Jennifer Roberts, we brought White Claw onto our fishing boat. So we now have a seltzer option. If you go out fishing with us, we have Bud Light, and Miller Lite, and now White Claw on the fishing boat. So make sure if you get out there, you get out and drink some White Claw because it's taking up a lot of room in our coolers, and we were told it would sell really well, but it hasn't yet. So Jennifer, you need to book a fishing trip and prove them wrong. And with that, don't forget to come out fishing tomorrow on the 10-hour all day. If you have any flexibility, call in sick to work, pull your kids out of school. Tomorrow is the day to go fishing on that 10-hour all day. Hope to see you down there. We have a crazy low tide at sunrise around 6:50. So I'm going to be shoeless, running around the sand, taking a bunch of photos and videos, and I'm hopefully going to have some news people down there doing some interviews on the sand. But I'll wave to you guys as you leave on that 10-hour all day with Captain Frank. And Bruce Johnson, Deputy Johnson, I see you on here. I will see you tomorrow at 7-Eleven I'm going to wake up late, so I'll see you at the end of your shift at 6 a.m., buddy. You should meet me at the sand, Bruce. You should come see it. It's crazy. I know you work night shift in Madeira Beach, but the day shift guys have to deal with a lot of crap from that sand, Bruce. I need your backup. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for that 10-hour all day, because I know everybody's going to join us, and we'll see you next week, perhaps. So we do these Sunday night live shows every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. But next week I might not be able to do the show. I'll let you guys know if we have to cancel it. But we are planning to do next week's show. If we have to cancel it, we'll send out an email. I'll let you know. But it is up in the air. My wife's grandmother up in New Jersey is due for a visit from her great-grandson, Jack Wilson Hubbard, my son. She hasn't seen him in a long time, and we might have to go up to New Jersey to visit her real quick. So stay tuned for updates on that. But we are planning to do the live show there Sunday night, the 22nd of November. That's a week from today. If we aren't, we'll make sure to let you know. And our seminar, the seminar at Hubbard's Marina, where we're going to give away lots of free beer, and we're going to have killer deals going on in the shop. It will be the last day of our Black Friday sale. Is either going to be Friday, December 4th, or Saturday, December 5th. We're going to confirm that date tomorrow, and we're going to make the Facebook event page, and we're going to shout it out to you guys through email and through our Facebook page. So stay tuned for that. We are going to plan an in-person seminar / drinking event Friday night, December 4th, or Saturday night, December 5th. And it will be the last chance for the Black Friday special. So Black Friday, November 27th, our gift certificate deals launch. We have a bunch of deals going on in the shop, and that will culminate on our last day where we plan that special in-person seminar. So stay tuned to the Facebook page tomorrow for updates. And with that, let's see who won a free 39-hour fishing trip for one guest. Free 39-hour fishing trip for one person. $399 value. Let's see who won. Tony Rodriguez. Ingles. I don't know what that word is. Tony Rodriguez, congratulations. You won a 39-hour trip for one person. Make sure you text us at that phone number in the upper right-hand corner. We'll see the rest of you guys next week, Sunday night, unless we email otherwise. And then hopefully we'll see everybody and their families at the in-person seminar coming up here that first weekend of December, either Friday or Saturday, which we will announce very shortly through our Facebook page. The 2021 schedule is going to be released Tuesday, December 1st at around 11 a.m. Stay tuned for that. Appreciate you, Calvin Brisker, for sending some stars. Ending the show on the high note. Appreciate you all watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow live at 6:50 a.m. for that crazy low water. We're going to see a big beach tomorrow, so hopefully we'll see you all for that. And if you want to come down in person and take photos and videos and do a live with me, I'll see you tomorrow at sunrise, 6:50 a.m. at Hubbard's Marina, and that incredibly large beach we have built up in the past. And hopefully you'll be there to take photos and videos of the beach, then run your phone back to the car and hop on that 10-hour all day that leaves at 7 with Captain Frank. Remember, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Have a great night, y'all.